everybody. We are on our way to Black Shannon. Not to run though. We are going to try out the new bike on some actual trails. It's a beautiful day. It is actually pretty warm out. It's saying 70 degrees, but it's kind of muggy, so it feels like it's a little bit warmer than 70 degrees out, but still a beautiful day for getting outside and in the woods. Although I will say that the hardest thing I've ever had to do was to look at Wyatt's little face when I picked up my hydration pack and started filling it with water. He got so excited because he usually knows, oh, Mom's filling her pack, that means we're gonna go for a run out in the woods. But he couldn't come with me because I'm gonna be on the bike. So that was sad. But maybe I will get him out for a little walk or something. Maybe either later on today or maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Poor little buddy. But all right, so we'll be there in a few minutes. So I'll catch you in a few. Okay, so here we are. We are at Black Shannon, getting ready to get started on this bike ride. I brought along my map because there are certain parts of the AFT and like the trails in Black Shannon that are hiking only. So I just want to make sure that I'm staying off of the hiking only trails and I'm using the shared use trails. So yeah, this will be my first time ever on a mountain bike on a trail. So feel privileged that I'm allowing you to witness what could be a massive embarrassment. Okay, well, since you've already seen me fall off my bike in my own driveway, maybe this would just be the second most embarrassing bike ride of my life. Yeah, I don't think you can beat falling off of your bike in your own driveway and then having to go back to the bike store and say, hey, I'm not ready for clipless pedals. Can you put the flat ones back on until I get used to riding this bike? Only me. So, okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, just did a little map check and the AFT is right there and it is a shared use section of it, but it's not very long and it's just going to take me back to the road and then it would just be like a little short circle. So we're going to keep going down this road and see if we can connect up to another trail. It looks like it's staying gravel road for a little bit, but it branches off here. So we're gonna go up this way. This is probably a really bad camera angle. Feels really good to be back out in the woods again. But yeah, I like this. This is nice. Haven't gotten into any single track yet, so I have a feeling that that's coming up ahead here. And it looks like we're now going uphill, so yeah. Pretty in here. Just listen to the birds. Yeah, no matter how hard this is, it still feels so good to be back in the woods. Although, as slow as I'm going, there was a guy that pulled in the parking lot behind me with one of those fat tire bikes, and he was pulling in right as I was leaving. He's probably gonna catch me. Oh yeah, I'd probably put money on it. The only way he's not gonna catch me is if he went on a different route. Yeah, so pretty. I think I could just sit here for hours. Okay, now we're on Ridge Trail. And I'm hoping, no, it's gonna be more uphill. Well, let's look at it this way. It's uphill the entire way here. I've literally been going uphill for 4 miles, which means that when I turn around and go home, it has to be all downhill. It's the only thing that has to be. It has to be. It can't be uphill. It can't be uphill on the way home. No, because if I came here and it was all uphill, it has to be downhill on the way home. If not, you might see me cry. No, I'm kidding. All right, let's go. I don't think that people appreciate how slippery gravel is. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. Holy crap. Oh my god. Well, too bad I wasn't recording for that. The camera just took a flying leap off the front of the bike. Clearly it doesn't like gravel either. Alright, I hope I didn't lose a piece. Let's see if we can get this attached back on again. Okay, so no more shots from the front of the bike because the tripod broke. It was clearly not made for this type of adventure. So I'm going to attach it to this little thing on here, but I might not take quite as many videos because although I might be able to touch it there, I don't know, we'll see, because when I had tried it on here it was not really showing up ahead, it was kind of showing the ground in front. So I might take some shots and then, you know, I'll stop and take the camera off if we get to anything that's worth taking a gander at. But yeah, unfortunately it did not hold up. So all right, let's get connected back. All right, we are back in action. And let's see what kind of footage we get going this way. Yeah. Okay. We are right here. We started here. So far, we've gone up here, like this, around here, past here, and now we're here. So we gotta go straight. My plan is we're gonna cut onto this, North Run Road, Smays, back to, or I might even go here and do that little section of the AFT and then go down. We'll see. Okay. we are the next day. My GoPro battery died when we got back to the car, so I wasn't able to do a synopsis. I actually went through 2 batteries, so then I came home last night, charged the batteries, and then I was just kind of relaxing and didn't really feel like messing around with it, so I figured I would just do it today. All right, so synopsis of my first ever mountain bike ride out on the trails. So the trail itself, I did not care for because it was majority of grass, which you saw from the video. And that just wasn't fun to ride on. I mean, it was definitely challenging to ride on, but even the downhills weren't fun because it was just, I don't know, it was just lumpy and it was, I don't know. I did not care for the grass. I was looking to do some single track, like the very short snippet that I posted at the end of this video that you just watched. So in the future, I think I'm going to try to stick to that sort of thing and not go off on these other little, because it was a multi-use trail. And so I feel like it was also for horses because there was a lot of like horse footprints and like horse manure and stuff. So it was nice and wide, but as far as for a bike, it just wasn't ideal. So I wouldn't do that again. The area was absolutely gorgeous, which, I mean, all of the areas around here are, and it just felt really good to be out on another adventure as opposed to just walking the dogs around the neighborhood. So that was really nice. Like, I really did enjoy getting out and doing it. Okay, so you'll notice that I only put a few little clips of kind of like the second half of the ride because first off, I broke my tripod. The camera went flying off the front of my bike. Unfortunately, I wasn't filming at the time because I feel like that would have been kind of fun to see the video of the camera just flying through the air. So I tried that shoulder mount that I kind of talked about in the beginning. But I feel like that would be more ideal for running because you're more in an upright position. Being on the bike like that, it really didn't give you that nice view of the trail. I mean, it really was, well, I mean, you see, it's my handlebar and then the ground right in front. So, and I couldn't get it to go up any further. There is another bracket on there, but I'm going to have to figure out how to like finagle that because it doesn't have the screw in part on it. So like you can put the camera on it and you can shove the little screw like pole thing through it or whatever that's called, but there's nothing to screw it onto, and the little silver part I couldn't move it, at least not out on the trail. I couldn't get it to move, so I might have to mess around with that a little bit because it does look like you can put it up at a higher position, so that may or may not make for better shots. So that's why the second half of the video, you know, you don't really see as much because I just felt like that wasn't as enjoyable to watch. It wasn't enjoyable for me to watch, so I feel like it wouldn't be enjoyable for you to watch. And then also it was a bit of an adventure because I originally intended to do 8 to 10 miles. I felt like that was a pretty good range for your first time out on a mountain bike. So I kind of planned out my route and I was looped all the way back and I was almost back to the car. And there was this little picnic table and I was like, you know what? I'm going to stop at that little picnic table and just kind of sit down and just take in this just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful view and the woods, and just, it was so nice. So, you know, I pull my bike up and I get out and I sit down on this picnic table and I get out my little snack, one of those honey stinger things, and I'm sitting there eating it and I was like, man, it's just so pretty here. And we were right at the entrance to a section of the AFT that was dual purpose. So I was like, you know what? I think I might go down that way because I feel like that would be really nice into the ride and just kind of loop around. So the entranceway was so beautiful. I was like, I'm going to take a picture of this. So I reached for my cell phone to take a picture, and lo and behold, my cell phone was not in the pocket of my hydration pack where it had been for the entire ride. So of course, this is immediate panic because I'm thinking, oh my God, where is my cell phone? It could be anywhere. So I know that there was the one part where I actually stopped at once we crossed over Route 504 to put my gloves on because my hands were starting to hurt, you know, bruised from falling in my driveway and all. And so I thought, okay, that's probably where it is because I could not imagine that it would have fallen out of the pocket of my vest while I was riding and I would not have felt or seen the cell phone fall out. So I go all the way back. I had to backtrack almost the entire route to get back up to this point. So I actually went, because the trail where it came down was this really, really steep grassy part. So I thought, I'm not going to go up. There's no way I can ride up that. Not at this point. So I looked and I thought, okay, well, I'll do the road. So I went up the road, connected to 504 and went up this way. And then that way I could come back down again and just go very slowly. And I felt like it was going to be right at the top. Now, my only fear was that there was one guy hiking and his pickup truck had been parked there. So I was thinking, please, if this guy found my cell phone, I really hope he didn't take it with him. And I really hope that he just kind of propped it up next to the trailhead where I would be able to find it easily. So, of course, it's all uphill to get back there. So, all uphill, get back up there, top of the trailhead, no cell phone. Everywhere, I looked everywhere where I had put my gloves on, no cell phone. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, this guy probably took my cell phone home. But I thought, okay, I'm going to go down this hill anyway, and I'll just go real slow and just look everywhere. So I go almost down the entire section there, real slow, you know, steep, bouncy, looking everywhere for my cell phone, just looking. And finally, I just, all of a sudden, bam, there's a cell phone right there in the grass. I was like, oh my God, thank God. Never so happy in my life to see my cell phone. Not just, I mean, you know, I'm not that attached to my cell phone, but just the process of getting a new cell phone and getting all of your contacts back, it just did not want to deal with that. That was just, I hate getting a new cell phone as it is. So I usually drag it out until the last possible moment when my cell phone is literally dying before I get a new one. So I was not looking forward to having to go through this process. So anyway, so happy to find the cell phone. And of course, I found it not more than 10 yards away from the bottom of the trailhead, where if I would have just bit the bullet and said, forget it, I'm just going to go up the hill, then I wouldn't have gone nearly as far as I did. But I was thinking, you know, I mean, I'm still healing my tendonitis, and hiking up a very steep grassy hill, pushing your bike probably would not have been good for my ankle. So I was, you know, I mean, catch 22. But anyway, so I found the cell phone, super happy. So I'm riding back, and at this point, I'm pretty tired. My wrists are killing me because, you know, I'm not used to the bouncing and the just the riding of a mountain bike. It's not the same as a road bike. So I'm pretty tired, but I get back to that point where there was the AFT, and I stopped and I just kept looking at it and thinking, oh, like that's what I want to be on. But I'm tired, I want to go back to the car, and I know I'm going to ride that section, and then I have to ride up a section of road that's steep to get back to where the car was. But then I thought, you know what, screw it. I want to go on a beautiful section of trail. So I did it, and I went on this little section, and of course it was absolutely beautiful. I loved it. The video did not pick up any of it because, again, camera mount on the shoulder, not ideal. So I took it and then took the road, which was all uphill, back to the car, and I've never been so happy to see my car in my life, I don't think, except for at the end of the Seagull Century. I was pretty glad to be done with that. That was probably way worse than this, the end of it anyway. But anyway, so I got back to the car, and literally, as I'm going to make the ending video, the battery dies. So, but overall, I had a good time. I was very happy to be back out on the trails. I will say, this bike is freaking awesome. I've never actually ridden on a legit mountain bike. So, you know, with the shocks and, you know, made to be out on the trails, this bike was amazing. I mean, I was going over, big rocks, and, you know, I'd come to these little ditches and think, oh, and the bike just cruised right over. Phenomenal. I could not be happier with the bike. So super, super excited. And it was really hard to switch my brain from the mindset of a road bike to a mountain bike. Because a road bike, you know, you see a little rock in the road like this and you hit it and you're like, oh my God, please don't flat my tire. But then this bike, you know, I had to switch gears. You know, I went over logs, for Pete's sakes. And the bike was just like, boom, boom. So awesome bike. And I'm totally looking forward to getting out onto the trails again. Albeit not this particular trail. I will have to find a different trail. So anyway, thanks for watching, including my very long monologue here at the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, as always, click like, and if you want to see more of my videos, then click the subscribe button. And look for more videos coming. It's probably gonna be a mix. I'm hoping to start running again here soon, but I'm not gonna give up the mountain biking. So it's gonna be true Trail Fox adventures, because it'll be all kinds of adventures. You never know what to expect next. All right, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.